Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, when or wherever you may be. I hope that you like this new quality sound. It took me a bit to fine tune a couple of issues here, but I think now my voice is a bit clearer and I think it's easier to understand what I'm saying. Okay, so improving as we go. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the recent declarations of US First Lady Melania Trump. Okay, so we are going to watch a video about it so that you know what we are talking about. This video is in Euronews, and as always, I will ask you to go and visit Euronews, subscribe to them if you are not subscribed to them, and take a look at their videos because they are rather informative and really synthetic in the sense that this is an expression in Portuguese that means they go to the information itself and just drop it so that you can make your own opinions about it. This is what I like about them. And also, of course, remember this video is not monetized. Okay, now let's watch.
US First Lady Melania Trump made a surprise on-camera statement on Thursday denying unspecified allegations about her and Jeffrey Epstein. The 55-year-old former model gave a categorical denial of any ties to the disgraced sex offender, with whom she and her husband had previously been photographed on the New York social scene.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach.
Melania's remarks at the White House came without prior announcement and with no explanation for why she would bring up the late sex offender Epstein now. Her statement also comes at a time when media attention is starting to turn away from Trump's war in Iran.
All right, folks, you heard the lady. Now let's talk a bit about it. Now, I have heard a lot of interpretations regarding this. I have heard that. Sorry. I have heard that she's trying to help her husband to get a bit of the hot waters in the water in Iran, meaning distraction. I have heard that this is her trying to remove herself from the eye of the hurricane that is coming in regards with the Epstein files. And I have heard that this was just she trying to distance herself from her husband and all of this thing. Okay, now let's start from the end. Mrs. Trump cannot distance herself from this situation. She is the husband of the person that is in the center of this scandal. Okay, the man is the most mentioned person in the Epstein files. Apparently, I have not seen the originals, and no one has given me certainty that what I was reading is the originals or not. And this is why the people that support Mr. Trump, this is why they have been so slow in divulging names and creating things that were not there, because they want to completely remove any kind of credit to these files, so that when they finally apparently are public, they can say, oh well, if they said this and they did this, then this might not be true, this might have been altered, and whatever. This is a tactic that works in legal systems like the United States and the UK. It would not work in Europe, for example, in the so-called continental law style of law. And that is exactly why they don't want it, because they want to continue to do this, which is to fool you. Okay? So, this said, who do we have? We have the victims. And I don't think any person would voluntarily come out and say that they were raped, that they were humiliated, that they were trafficked, just because they want the attention. Anyone who has spoken with a victim, that has heard them talk, heard them say what happened to them, would know that this is a tactic that aggressors use to victimize the victims. Does this mean everyone is absolutely honest? No, for fuck's sakes. We have seen cases in which this happened. I know a lot of people don't like the guy, but this happened to Johnny Depp, the actor. This happened to him. He had a hell of a time proving himself to be innocent in the middle of all this. Was he completely innocent and a good guy? No, he wasn't. He was human. But from being human and reacting naturally to a situation of stress and to be an aggressor goes an entire different region of acception of what an aggression is. Okay? Or being the brutalizer of another person. There's an entire difference between things, and people need to understand this. People need to understand that when people are angry, when they are emotional, they say things, and sometimes they do things that they would not do if they were in their normal state. But we need to set the boundary of what is an aggression, an harassment, and what is a normal human reaction. For example, if we are walking down the street and you don't like me, and you look at me and say, hey asshole, and I answer back to you, fuck you, or some shit like that, this is a normal human reaction. I'm not harassing you, I'm reacting. But if you do the same thing, okay, and I go after you, I throw you to the ground, I start beating you to a pulp, then this is harassment and aggression. And people need to set the difference between what is one thing and what is another. You want to know what is my opinion about this? My opinion about this is that she's trying to ensure her investment. She wants in the future, when there is any issues about Trump, about settlements being made and money being exchanged, to keep her estate separated from her husband's. She's also trying to cover herself because you know that Brazilian girl that was married with the Italian trafficker, Italian American alleged trafficker that was in a custody battle, sorry, because of her kid, and her ex-husband denounced her, or partner denounced her to tries to get her deported back to Brazil. That she's been on social media saying that she's going to say everything that she wants to say, and that apparently she's going to be interviewed by CNN. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe by the time I put out this video, it would already have happened. But whatever the reasons are, she's covering herself. In my opinion is this: she's covering her part. She's trying to distance herself a bit from it. She's trying to say that she only knew Epstein socially, that those messages that she allegedly exchanged with Ghislaine were just social pleasantries, whatever. This is what she's trying to do. And in the same sense, she's also distracting people from this entire Iran thing. Because if you want to know my opinion, I think Trump is already tired about this. He wants to go on into some other lunacy. Because the man is not well. He used to be stupid and evil. And now he's stupid, evil, and demented. Of course, this is all allegedly. And remember, I'm just issuing my opinion. Nothing more. I'm not saying that the person is that. I'm issuing my opinion. As you Americans say, my God-given right to speak my opinion. But it is becoming funny because the sensation that we have looking in from the outside is that the rats are running away from the ship. I am absolutely certain that in the background they are already taking measures to put their money safe and to have escape plans from this lunacy. Because they know the grift is about to end. It's going to end, okay? It's going to end because they have already served their purpose. And you know what happens to someone that has served their purpose in these type of things? They either retired or get retired, or sometimes they are retired permanently. So to people to say Trump is furious, he did not know she was going to do that, no, he knew. He knew. Look, we all make these jokes about Melania only having a marriage on paper, that she was only there after she got Trump another child and whatever, and now that she's where she wants, it's all a convenience marriage. I will tell you this: their marriage, for whatever reasons, I don't know if she loved them or not, I have no idea, it's a business. It's a business, my friends. And in a business, okay, you fight to keep the business profitable. And she has a movie, she has a book, and now she's trying to ensure the future of the business. Because Trump is an old man, he's going to die. In fact, we don't even know what is his health condition. We do know the type of life that he had, and maybe still has, I don't know. We know the visible health problems, and she's just covering her ass. To be honest, this is my opinion. But I would like you folks to leave me your opinion of what does she want with this in the comment section. I would like to hear your opinion and your feedback on this video. And I also would like to thank you all for coming, for listening listening to my crazy rants, okay, and my weird accent, whatever. And I hope to catch you all in the next one. And I wish you a very good day, whatever you may be, okay? And folks, please take care of yourselves and your family and stay safe, all right?